Claire's at Camden Crawl. I'm with Richard and Dave from Pivot, who have pivoted like from the other side of the world to be here. Guys, you absolute troopers. Where have you flown from?
That's an amazing segue. That was beautiful. Pivoted from the other side of the world.
It kind of just, it was a last minute thing and I was like, God, that was cheesy. Why did I do that? I'm really embarrassed now.
No, I like it. I enjoy good puns and sort of dad humour. Yeah.
It's best to just go for it sometimes. I came from Sydney. It's our first show of the tour, so we're going to bust the rust in Dublin.
Yeah.
Is that an Aussie expression? Bust the rust? Did you just make that up?
When you start a tour and it's like clearing the cobwebs, bust the rust. Yeah. So we haven't played in a month. So this is the first show of the tour.
I'm going to try and use that in a sentence today. I'll be like, bust the rust. Like, what does that mean? I'll be like, oh, shut up. I was told it would be okay to say this. So you've come all the way from Sydney to play in the Button Factory for us. Thank you for coming all this way. We're really looking forward to it. And you're going to be doing a ninja show later as well in Sweeney's. Like a ninja when you just kind of show up.
Oh, okay.
And
with or without costumes.
Yeah.
It's still a ninja.
Well, what you could say is that you have the costumes, but only other ninjas can see the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So if they're not a ninja, they can't see that you're in costume.
Got it.
Does that work?
So wear your ninja costume to the gig if you want to see us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant? Yeah.
That'll definitely work. So can we clear up? There's been a lot of confusion on the name. It is Pivot, right? But there's vowels missing. Did you get the inspiration for your name from Ross from Friends going pivot,
No.
like that?
I don't like that show. It's not a funny show.
I feel like we should have our own show. I feel like people would watch it.
Yeah. I don't know. Really, really sad people.
I tell you what, we'd get more laughs than those guys. Bloody awful.
So it didn't come from
No.
Ross from Friends.
Who's your favourite, Dave, from Friends?
Jen.
Jen. I don't even know which one that is.
The one that looks like Iggy Pop, or Iggy Pop will look like her in 20 years.
What?
Think about it.
I haven't thought about that.
Oh, she's got the black straight hair, right?
No, it's the kind of the blondie brownie, kind of very straight hair, and she's very skinny.
Okay, yeah. Is she the hippie one? Which one's the hippie one?
Phoebe.
Right,
Yes.
Phoebe. Right.
I'm like pausing there as if to go, oh, I have to think about it. Like it's on it's one of those shows that runs back to back and it's just always on in the background.
All I know is Joey. That's all I know, Joey.
He's the dumb guy.
He's the dumb guy.
Yeah, right.
But he did an amazing show with what's his name? He did an English show called Episodes, and the whole idea was they take an English show like it's supposed to be The Office.
Right.
And they take it to America.
Right.
And it gets Hollywoodized. And it's
okay.
the show is set around a professor.
Yeah.
And it's like a professor in his class, but they get Joey for star power, even though he's the closest thing for a professor.
Is that a real show or did you just make that
up?
up? Oh, okay. I'm going to look it up.
He's actually hilarious in it. That's the end of my story.
Should we talk about some music?
We probably should. So I suppose for people maybe that haven't heard your stuff before, how would you describe it? It's probably going to be a very long sentence with lots of different lovely adjectives in it.
How would you describe it?
I would describe it as kind of swirly, electronic, kind of post-poetry, modern, left field, but also slightly right of centre, sparkly, thrusting guitar, noise.
That's all the words I would use.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
My favourite was poetry.
and thrusting. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so will there be much thrusting on stage? Do you guys kind of jump around on stage a lot, or?
That's all I do. I don't do anything else.
He doesn't really do much. Yeah. He checks his email and then
thrusts and press play on iTunes. Spotify, I mean.
It's not too far from the truth, is it, Dave?
Just
So I have to go on stage. I'm looking after the Button Factory, so I have to go on stage and intro the bands. I had a nightmare last night that I knocked a pint of water into a pedal board while going on stage to introduce Pivot.
Can you not do that tonight?
I would really like to not do that. I'm going to try really hard. So what I'm thinking is if you're bringing drinks on stage, could you just make sure that the tops are on them? And if you could have the wires, if you could tell your text, just have the wires kind of as neatly arranged as possible so that I don't trip. And Okay, cool.
If you could just not be a nonce, that'd be good too.
Yeah, I will really, like, I'll try, but I'm just very clumsy, and I just woke up in a cold sweat going, I'm going to ruin their set. Yeah, so I will try not to. Should we mention the fact that you have an album came out this year? People should buy it.
I have an album that came out in February. It's called Homo Sapien.
And it has beautiful artwork. Did you guys design the artwork?
No, we didn't. It was a New York painter, artist. Yeah.
Called Winston Chmielewski. I've probably said his name wrong, and I hope he doesn't hear this, but because I respect his art so much. But yeah, we haven't actually met the guy, but we discovered him on the internet, of all things.
The internet's good for finding art and music and videos.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a channel called YouTube.
There's also a lot of videos of cats. You can look at it, if you wanted to, you could look at cats all day, every day on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that guy that just... Oh, that's not
Which
story.
guy?
No, I want to tell a story.
Come on, we're going there.
There's a guy... There was a guy that subcontracted his own job to China, his IT guy, and they did all the work for him, and all the code, and it came back, and he just submitted it as his own, and got paid for like 18 months or something, like completely. He just did no work, and they tracked what he did during that 18 months, and a lot of the time that he spent at work was looking at cat videos on YouTube. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Richard and Dave from Pivot, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, but I feel like the sleep deprivation is really... You've got 5 hours sleep, you were saying, if even?
It's okay.
Something like that.
Yes.
I'm easy. We'll just go on coffee.
Yeah, so we'll get you now. There's coffee and brownies upstairs. Do you want to go get coffee and brownies?
I'm gonna have a lot of Red Bull and vodkas.
Yeah, that could work too. But yes, Homo Sapiens out now. It's really good. You should buy it. The artwork is beautiful, even if we might have got the name wrong on the artist's surname. And yes, come to the Button Factory tonight. It's going to be awesome. Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
We are Phantom.